How much do houses in Calgary cost? Today, I'm gonna go over 5 things, plus give you a bonus tip so you have an idea of what to expect for pricing for the Calgary market. Now, this video is designed for a family of 4 or those people who are aspiring to have a family of 4. The first is a quick lesson on what drives housing prices and why Calgary is going through a population boom. Second, I'm going to explain why I'm not going to cover the east side, northeast, or city center for Calgary detached home prices. Third, I'm going to go over the benchmark pricing for each quadrant in Calgary. Fourth, I'm going to go through a single individual house in each quadrant and show you the photos. And fifth, I'm gonna give you the mortgage information, meaning your mortgage payment, based on having 10% down payment. And lastly, I'm gonna give you a tip so you can get an idea of supply and demand, because ultimately, that's what determines the kind of pricing for you to expect. So make sure you stick around for that. We have a lot to cover, so let's just get right into it. In my opinion, real estate goes up in price based on these 3 core principles. They are, number 1, inflation. The cost of goods and labor goes up. I mean, take a look at central banks. They always aim for between a 2 to 3% inflation rate every year. The second is scarcity. I mean, land is scarce. There's only one location of a home in the entire world. And people are attracted to amenity-rich areas, and this usually happens in the center of the city or downtown. As an example, in Calgary, we have a lot of our festivals, our events, and concerts. They're all downtown, not by 22x. And third is population. A growing population always puts a squeeze on supply. Well, at least for the last few centuries. We are coming at a turning point though, where population is not growing as much. As an example, how you would know this is when countries are selling more adult diapers than baby diapers, like Japan. And by the way, have you guys seen the adult diaper section at Shoppers? I mean, it is massive. I mean, I'm gonna be there shopping in that aisle probably in a few decades from now, and I'm laughing about it now, but I won't be laughing about it later. And now I'm gonna add one more thing just because we're in Calgary, and the thing that has affected prices in the past has been oil and gas, right? At least in the last handful of decades, because the oil and gas sector makes up about 25% of Alberta's GDP. Now, looking forward, that may change, only because the city is really pushing to grow a tech and renewable energy sector. Now, some of you guys might come back and say, well, Fee, what about economic factors like GDP growth and employment data, interest rates, government policies, foreign investments, development and infrastructure, and speculation? Well, I do agree that all those things do play a part of it. But when I'm pulling myself up 40,000 feet in the air and looking over the long term, in my opinion, I think that real estate prices go up based on those 3 core principles. Now, of course, this is always up for debate, and if you have a different perspective, let me know in the comments below. I love hearing about other people's perspectives and opinions, because at the end of the day, we're all trying to seek the truth. So why is Calgary's population increasing? Well, for the first time in history, Calgary's population boom isn't due from the price of oil and gas, but from interprovincial and international migration. Now, for today, I'm not going to be covering the east or the northeast quadrant of the city because we just don't have clients buying and selling in those areas. And for city center, you just can't get the same properties into the city center as the suburbs, and the price is obviously much different as well. Okay, so I'm going to go over the benchmark pricing for each quadrant for detached homes. Now, what is benchmark pricing? It's basically the price of your typical home in a specific area or community. And the typical home, as defined by CREB, the Calgary Real Estate Board, is a home that has common similarities in features such as similar square footage, the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, the type of garage, and those types of things. Here is the benchmark pricing for Calgary detached homes in each quadrant. In the Northwest, as of the recording of this video, it was $725,000. In the North, it was $643,000. Southeast, $679,000. In the South, $664,000. And in the West, it is $877,000. So each house in all of these quadrants have the same criteria because I really wanted to compare them apples to apples in the different quadrants of Calgary, okay? Now they are all 2-story, between 2,005 and 2,085 square feet, all have 3 bedrooms upstairs, a developed basement. They were sold between July and September 2023, which, by the way, by the time you see this video, pricing may be different. So you can reach out to us to see if what similar properties are selling for in these quadrants, okay? Now there's 5 properties total. 3 of the 5 properties sold in less than 2 weeks, but all of them sold within a month. And they all sold between $750,000 and $800,000. Okay, let's start in Calgary's north in the community of Panorama. Now, Panorama is really big. This community is amenity rich, has lots of green space, shopping along Country Hills Boulevard, recreation centers, a library, community hall, and it has an HOA, a homeowners association fee, which is $265 annually. Now, when a community has an HOA, it means that it's going to be a nicer neighborhood because residents are paying into the homeowners association for upgrades in the community. Things like maybe water features, a nicer community hall, nicer street signs, things like that. Now, this home did sell for $745,000. It was built in 2009. And what I love about this property is that it backs onto green space. It's got hardwood floors, vaulted ceilings. It's got a bonus room, a wet bar, and a side door entrance to create a basement suite. It was on the market for 26 days before it sold. Going to the northwest of Calgary, we have Edgemont. Now, Edgemont is also a very big community. It does have a larger Chinese population. There's lots of nature, big lots, big homes, mostly detached homes with attached garages, and is beside Nose Hill Park, and the estate homes overlook the city. It's actually pretty nice. Now, Edgemont can be broken down into Lower Edgemont and Upper Edgemont. Now, the price of this home sold for $775,000. It was built in 1980, but you can see that it's been completely renovated in and around 2015. What I like about this property is that it backs onto green space, and on the front, there's a huge green space in front of it. Now, you do face Scarcity Trail, which is a major road, but you're far enough so that you're not affected by the traffic or the noise. This one is unique because it has 4 bedrooms upstairs. Most properties in Calgary only have 3. There's a built-in bookcase, which is common for this era of home. Has a hidden wet bar, hardwood floors, granite countertops, full height cabinets in the kitchen, and a summer kitchen in the basement. This property did sell in 13 days. I just want to remind you that my tip is coming up near the end of this video to determine supply and demand and ultimately pricing for Calgary real estate. So make sure you stick around. Heading to the west side of Calgary, we have Cougar Ridge. It's a family-oriented community close to COP or Canada Olympic Park, home to the 1988 Olympics. And today it is a multi-purpose competition facility that offers high-performance athlete training. It's also open to the public, so people like you and I can go. And given the location, it's really great for those who like to zip out to Banff or Canmore or go snowboarding in the mountains. Now, this home sold for $800,000. It was built in 2004. And what I like about it is it backs onto a green belt, which has a pathway to it. It's got hardwood floors, a main floor office, a composite deck, which is made out of plastic, so you don't have to paint it. It's got air conditioning, a new hot water heater, and of course, total toilets for extra comfort when sitting on your throne. This property sold in 2 days. Going to the southwest of Calgary, we have Evergreen. There's 2 parts to Evergreen, the older Evergreen estates and the newer southern section, each with their own community association. It's right south of Fish Creek Park, which, by the way, is the 2nd largest urban park in Canada. And Fish Creek Park is 3 times the size of Vancouver's Stanley Park. We're better than you, Vancouver. Just joking. Vancouver is bomb. They have way better food than us. Now, this one home sold for $751,000, and what's interesting is that it was listed for $698,000 and sold for $53,000 over asking. This home was built in 1998, and this one is specifically in the Evergreen estates. I love the vaulted ceilings, west-facing backyard for day and nighttime sun, and the big 2-tier deck. It just looks amazing. And this one sold also in 2 days. Finally, heading to the southeast of Calgary brings us to Mahogany. Now, this is an award-winning community, arguably the best community in southeast Calgary. It has its own man-made lake, a sweet beach house. It's got a great community vibe, unique housing options, and the future LRT line will be going through the community, hopefully in the next 150 years. The price of this property sold for $768,000. It was built in 2017, and what I love about this one is it's a 2-minute bike ride to the Mahogany beach house. It's got a beautiful chimney hood fan, a gas burning countertop stove, and herringbone tile backsplash in the kitchen. Living the high life. This property sold in 19 days. So the mortgage info, like what your payment will be, is coming right up. But first, I want to ask, was this information helpful so far? If it has been, please support us by liking this video. And what's resonated with you so far? Let me know in the comments below. I read all of your guys' comments. And feel free to subscribe if you like this content. We do our best to bring you guys content that comes from a different perspective compared to all other real estate agents on YouTube. So hopefully you've heard it here first. Mortgage information. Okay, what is your mortgage and your payment based on putting a 10% down payment? I'm going to use the price of $800,000 because that was the most expensive property. Your mortgage default insurance premiums, because you're putting less than 20% down, is about $22,000. So your mortgage is going to be $742,000. I used an interest rate for a 5-year term of 5.84%. So your mortgage payment is going to be $4,680 per month. Now, the household income you need for that is going to be just over $200,000. That may seem high, but did you know that Alberta has the highest wages in all of Canada? So what are you guys waiting for? Call me. Let's go buy you guys a home here. So I want to leave you with a big tip to help you determine what kind of market we're in. A buyer's, seller's, or a balanced market, okay? Now, this does determine Calgary real estate pricing. So the metric I use is called months of supply, or also known as months of inventory. What it means is, based on last month's sales, how many months would it take for the city to sell all of its existing inventory? In Calgary, between 2.5 and 4 months is a balanced market. Anything less than 2.5 months is a seller's market. Anything more than 4 months is a buyer's market. As of today, making this video, we are sitting at 1.45 months of supply, which is a seller's market. Hopefully today's information was helpful. My name is Felix Chan, Calgary realtor and mortgage broker with Real Broker, and we'll see you in the next video.